What's up YouTube, Treeburgers here, bringing you another class guide for Royale. Today we are having a look at the Engineer, the bomb wielding, shield having, splash damaging, versatile class of Royale. The Engineer features some pretty amusing skills which can really turn the tides of the battlefield if used correctly. While not being nearly as flashy with blinks, dashes and invisibility, the Engineer holds a set of really strong and effective spells which can get you W after W if you use those said spells correctly. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the passive of the Engineer. The Engineer passive regenerates 5 armor each second, giving him a big advantage if fights continue over a long period of time, or if you're just struggling to find armor potions and stuff like that. So overall, this is a really strong passive and benefits. The Engineer benefits hugely from this passive. Okay, so the first skill we are going to look at today is the Thrust. Thrust gives you a jet upwards into the air. Depending on rarity, the cooldown varies from 8 to 5 seconds. Thrust can bring you places on maps that would otherwise be hard to reach, and the spell can easily reposition you on the enemy. Say you need to enter a building while fighting on the ground, jumping from outside up on the first floor is no problem if you're using Thrust. It serves a great counter for high ground as well. If the enemy has the high ground on you, like on a hill and stuff, you can easily get to him by using Thrust. I'd say overall the spell is really good and invites to some pretty flashy plays if you are jumping down on your enemies without them knowing, and you shotgun them right to the face or give them a few plasma balls or something to the face without them knowing that you are hanging above them. That sort of plays are possible by using the spell Thrust. Next spell we will be looking at is the Barricade spell. Barricade deploys a shield that blocks enemy shots. The cooldown is from 16 to 10 seconds, and the duration is anywhere from 4 to 10 seconds depending on the rarity of the spell. Barricade is a really strong spell when fighting the enemy. As long as you stay behind Barricade, you won't be able to take any damage at all. It blocks everything. Do note that the Barricade is approximately 90 degrees around you, so you will have to watch your back and your corners still. You can be flanked and you can be attacked from behind even though barrier is up. If you find yourself pinched between multiple players, this is an awesome spell to block off one opponent and allowing you to focus on the other for up to 10 seconds, which is more than enough to either reposition yourself or take down an enemy fast. Like say reposition, you can thrust away if you are getting attacked from multiple sides while hiding from one side due to your barrier. The barrier, it functions pretty much the same as a wall does. You know, if you build 2 walls around you in Fortnite, the barrier is pretty much the same. Just note that the barrier cannot be shot down no matter how much damage you put into it. So overall, a really good spell. Which serves as a true lifesaver also for your mates if you're playing duos and squads. So you can use this spell to shield in an ally if you are getting attacked and he might be chicken due to taking too much damage or something like that. Deploy Turret is another of the Engineer's passive skills. Deploy Turret deploys up to 2 turrets that shoot enemies. The cooldown ranges from 20 to 8 seconds and the duration ranges from 25 to 40 seconds. It's a spell that I really have mixed feelings about. Deploy Turrets is at one hand super strong. It fights the enemy well. It removes the enemy's ability to flank you while in fights and stuff. But on the other hand, the spell is just super hard to use in a lot of situations. If you do engage in a fight, the enemy can simply disengage and reposition to leave a line of sight, or to leave the line of sight from your cannons. So the cannons by no means can attack your enemy, whatever you try to do. And if your cannons aren't in legendary state, you can't really deploy them fast enough to gain advantage of additional cannons. So thereby the spell is pretty much useless. And I find this to happen a lot, really, and I do it myself as well if I play against a engineer. So it's yeah, on one hand it's good, on one hand it's bad. But anyways, the turrets do give you a huge positional advantage. Having 2 cannons for up to 40 seconds each makes it super hard for your enemies to outposition you. Overall, it's a pretty funny spell, but it's not really my personal favorite. Like I said, you can use it to like gain the upper hand in positioning, especially when playing solos, but I just don't find that advantage big enough compared to some of the other class abilities available. Next up, we have my personal favorite, the Firebomb. A Firebomb throws a bomb that leaves a pool of fire on the ground, dealing damage over time to everybody who steps on it. The cooldown ranges from 16 to 10 seconds, and the damage is anywhere from 3 to 6% of maximum HP each tick. The bomb is just super strong in a lot of situations. You can really benefit from positioning right with this, and if your enemy seeks cover and stuff, you can take them out easily with this bomb. Like fighting warriors in solos as an engineer can sometimes be tough to do due to their passive, regaining HP each second and kind of missing out on anything strong one-shot weapon. Like the assassin have their snipers who can one-shot literally anyone if they headshot, but engineers just can't do that. On top of having their passive regain, warriors having their passive regain, they have their passive potions as well. So Firebomb just totally ruins this for all warriors due to the percentage damage they take each second. Throwing out bombs while blasting your enemy with your plasma gun makes it nearly impossible for anyone to hide behind rocks, trees and walls. And you can hit, like I said, any hiding players with your Firebomb, and that just gives you a huge advantage on campers and wounded players trying to heal. If you find people hiding in buildings, you can simply throw in firebombs through the windows and you can force them out of the building pretty easily. So overall, a really good spell, and I really like playing around with it. The last and final passive ability that we are going to look at today is the Healing Totem. The Healing Totem deploys a totem that heals all allies. So in solo it heals you, in squad it heals all of your teammates as well. The cooldown varies from 20 to 8 seconds, and the duration is from 4 to 10 seconds depending on the rarity of the item. The Healing Totem is a fairly strong ability too, especially when playing squads. Being able to heal your entire squad for huge amounts is a true game changer when fighting enemies. In a matter of just seconds, you can have an entire squad ready to fight once again and turn the tides of the battle. Combine this spell with the barrier and you are forcing your enemy to rush, leaving them vulnerable for a counterattack. Like, you throw up a barrier, you throw down a Healing Totem, the only option your enemies have is to rush you, so you won't get fully healed. This can leave them vulnerable if they have to enter open grounds. You have high ground and stuff like that, so you can easily take them down because they are exposed and yeah, easy to kill. So if the Healing Totem is used right and used as a supportive spell, it's really strong, and it is good for solos as well because the heal each second is quite strong. Finally, we will be looking at the Engineer's class weapon. The weapon is a plasma gun shooting out plasma balls, dealing damage on direct hits plus AoE damage around each shot. Each shot deals 400 damage, 800 damage on a headshot, and the gun holds 6 bullets. The AoE damage depends on how far from the explosion you stand. When shooting this gun, you do have to consider the bullet drop, so hitting with this gun can sometimes be a bit of a pain. Having said that, the gun is a ton of fun to use. Hitting long range shots with bullets just dropping massively, that's super satisfying, so I'm having a ton of fun using this gun. When playing Fortnite, the grenade launcher is a personal favorite of mine. So needless to say, this gun is just a favorite too. But I think this pretty much sums up the engineer class. We covered the spells, we covered the passive, we covered his class weapons, so that's really all you need to know to get out there and get some W's in Realm Royale. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed this, and remember to subscribe to stay updated with the latest Realm Royale content.